probably gonna be a dead stream. Cheating is not helping. The people, like the women that are like, oh, you're all mad at me because I'm a girl, or they're trying to fight men on everything. That's hurting their cause, in my opinion. I don't think that's a step forward. Even though I'm a man or a male, whatever you want to say, I think that if you're a part of a group or belief and you approach something aggressively, nobody's gonna follow you or take you seriously. You will be mocked and ostracized from society, and that's the big thing. Like, for example, BuzzFeed, or for example, Vegan Teacher. Her cause is somewhat pretty decent. You know, we don't want animals to die, but how she ostracizes people and she approaches it aggressively, that does not help. It will only separate and divide the community even further. And it makes me sad because, and then here's the thing, is that vegans now somewhat look awful because of Vegan Teacher. She basically is making her cause have a bad reputation to it. Now because when people are think, you gotta remember that when people think, oh hey, isn't that one thing where that lady was crazy and ostracized people? I don't want to join that lady. Screw her. And then now, like literally, when Vegan Teacher was active, I can bet you a few poor vegans got ostracized because of her actions. Because it puts such a bad taste in the mouths. Just like how Indian scammers literally, like, ruin their reputation. Their people are awesome. And they're good people. But stupid scammers, they just literally... They make their people look awful. And it sucks. And I think both people to blame is not only society, but the people that run the organizer. Literally, look what happened in the 1960s. Martin Luther King was peacefully protesting. And you want to know what happened when people beat their innocent protesters down? They had innocence. Those protesters did not fight back. Now, let's change something. Let's say the protesters did fight back. And I'm not saying, like, defending. I'm saying aggressively. Let's say they attacked. They started killing people in the streets. If that happened today, I'd be like, wow, that guy's a terrorist. There is a difference between peaceful protests and straight up harassment and terrorism. And it just keeps making me mad because I literally live for a world where everybody can just STFU and get the hell along. That way we can actually accomplish whatever we want to. I'm a person that wants to see progress achieved. I want to see the human race, as well as the other creatures that inhabit this earth, prosper. And I'm sorry if I sound cheesy because of that. But I just think that, well, that's my opinion. It is. I hope we can God, I've been exploring something called the Skyray network for a few weeks now. I've documented 143 sites. 143 within a week, and that's pretty interesting. And I put descriptions for all of them, statuses. And if you don't know, it's those giant red towers. I explored one abandoned site a few days ago. Anyway, I think one thing our federal government should do is I would honestly be so happy to see the old Skyray network just booted back up again. Although not like really booted, but I want them to retrofit the towers. If we did this, we can create even more connection than we already did. Because like do you know how oh my god. Sky, shut up. The Skyray network is an old network made back in the 1960s. Well, due to the invention of the micro or fiber optic, this killed the towers. The entire network was shut down within only a few years. Some were revamped, but most of them were stripped and left to corrode. But what if we gave new life to it? I mean, from tower to tower, no link is more than 40 miles, meaning that you can get fairly well connection. And a lot of towers, they're just sitting there. When I went up to the station, it was just locked. No cars were parked. It was just the towers just sitting there, corroding, rusting. And it's kind of upsetting to see all these towers have just been forgotten, even though they once literally connected the nation. When the Skyray network was built, it was the largest system of its kind. The largest. And Canada had something called the Trans-Canada Skyray network, which is their own iteration of the project. At least about, I want to say 95% of the towers I've surveyed are still standing. They are all still standing. And after so many years, that just tells you how well built they are. And they're pretty sturdy. Apparently, those towers are so sturdy, they could hold the radars that have them. Like, they have these horn radars on top. And apparently, they can hold them a fourth of a degree and up to 125 mile an hour wind. That is, like, what, an EF1 to EF2 tornado? These towers are insanely strong. And the stations they are at are so strong. And, yeah, for the sites, the stations are intact. They're all just emptied or adds equipment into the bottom of them. I know I keep saying it, just what if the Skyray network was actually rebooted? I mean, reboot is completely impossible due to many of the towers being destroyed or stripped of their radars. So many of them are stripped. But, like, some have been retrofitted. And even though we can't use the KS-15676 radars that are housed on top of them, we could scrap them and use the resources from them to build better ones. Yeah, like you don't, like, the government needs to do that. They don't even have to build new stations. They don't even have to really build that many new towers. Like the towers and stations are there. You just need to wire them up. There may be a reason why it can't work. If there is, sorry if I didn't take into account. But seriously, just look what I said. But not like the internet I'm running off